It was 1912. From a busy shipyard in Belfast, a giant appeared. The RMS Titanic, a wonder of human skill, was ready for her first trip. She was the biggest ship ever built. Her strong steel body, made of countless rivets and beams, promised amazing sea voyages. Newspapers said she couldn't sink. A symbol of progress and luxury, the Titanic was more than a ship. She was a floating palace. Everyone was excited as the Titanic got ready to leave Southampton. Thousands came to see this historic moment. Flags waved, bands played, and everyone was happy and excited. On the ship, people settled into their fancy rooms, amazed by how grand everything was. The Titanic wasn't just a way to travel. It was a bridge to a new life, a ship of dreams. All kinds of people were on the Titanic. Rich people and immigrants travelled together. Families started new adventures. In first class, it was super fancy. Champagne flowed, and people laughed in the beautiful dining rooms. Second-class passengers had comfy rooms and the thrill of a lifetime. In steerage, families huddled together, sharing stories and hoping for a better life in America. Each person had their own story, their own dreams. There were the Astors, a super-rich family, coming back from their honeymoon. Benjamin Guggenheim, a rich mine owner, travelled with his helper and girlfriend. Isidore and Ida Strauss, who owned Macy's, chose to face danger together. And in steerage, families like the Sagas and the Navratils hoped for a new life. The Titanic, without knowing it, carried all these human stories within its steel walls. As the Titanic sailed west, a feeling of worry started to grow. Wireless messages warned of icy areas ahead. Captain Smith, an experienced captain, knew the danger but kept going. The Titanic, after all, was supposed to be unsinkable. The ship pushed on, its engines moving it towards its fate. The sea, calm and wide, hid a secret danger. The night of April 14th came, making the ship feel strangely quiet. The stars were bright, but there was no moon. It got really cold, a sign of the terrible things to come. Even with the warnings, everything seemed normal on the Titanic. In the dining rooms, the band played, couples danced and people laughed. They didn't know danger was close. At 11:40 p.m, a lookout shouted, "Iceberg, right ahead!" The ship shook hard as the crew tried to avoid hitting it. The iceberg, a giant shadow in the dark, scraped the side of the Titanic. The ship shuddered, a scary crunch that made everyone's spines tingle. The strong ship had been hurt. Panic started slowly. Passengers, told they were safe, came out of their rooms to see what happened. As they realized the danger, fear spread. The Titanic, once a symbol of human success, was now a ship of fear, filling with water fast. It was chaos as the order came to use the lifeboats. The band kept playing, their music a sad soundtrack to the tragedy. Brave people helped others. Men helped women and children into lifeboats, giving up their own chance to live. The cries of families being separated echoed across the water, a terrible reminder of the human cost. Facing death, people acted differently. Some panicked, fighting for a spot in the lifeboats. Others accepted their fate calmly. The crew, doing their jobs, tried to keep things organized as the ship sank. As the Titanic tilted, the last lifeboat went down. More than 1,500 people were still on board, hoping to be saved. The ship's lights went out, leaving them in darkness. The cries of the dying, the hiss of steam, and the roar of the ocean filled the air. The Titanic, once a symbol of hope, disappeared beneath the waves, taking with it the dreams of many people. The survivors in small lifeboats huddled together to stay warm, their cries for help lost in the vast ocean. News of the sinking shocked the world. The unsinkable ship, a symbol of human progress, was gone. The world mourned the loss of more than 1,500 lives. The disaster showed that technology wasn't perfect and that human life is fragile. People started asking questions about how fast the ship was going, why there weren't enough lifeboats, and why other ships didn't help sooner. The disaster led to big changes in ocean safety rules, like creating the International Ice Patrol and requiring more lifeboats. The Titanic reminds us to be humble because nature is powerful. The Titanic story, a mix of human success and sadness, has fascinated people for over 100 years. Books, movies and documentaries have explored everything about the disaster, from how the ship was built to the stories of the people who died and survived. Finding the wreck of the Titanic in 1985 gave us a real connection to the past, showing us the ship's last moments. The things found in the wreckage remind us of the lives lost and the lessons learned. The Titanic story, a story of human ambition and weakness, still affects us, reminding us of the power of nature and how important it is to value every moment. The Titanic story is timeless. It's a stark warning, reminding us that we're not invincible. The disaster compels us to reflect on our own lives, to cherish every moment, and to recognize the importance of human connection. As we remember the Titanic, let's honor the lives lost by striving to create a world where such tragedies are a thing of the past. Let's learn from history and work towards a future where safety, compassion, and respect for nature are paramount. The Titanic, forever etched in our memories, serves as a poignant reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, both in life and in death.